99.999% of skincare. The reason you don't know those names because only 3%, if you're lucky, of that product is actually therapeutic. The rest
Wait,
is
3%?
Yes.
That's terrible.
If you're lucky. We're actually just buying marketing. We're buying how something feels, not what something does to our skin. And we're investing a lot of money in 1% of that bottle. So in my line, there's none of that. And it may sound so beautiful and amazing, but we're so used to our cleanser foaming. I have no foaming agents. These are all plants and clays.
So it doesn't foam. It just
becomes
liquefied.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers. I'm your host, Harriette Cole, and today we are on location in my favorite place in the Hamptons. We are at my dear friend Donna Karen's home. She has welcomed us here to just share joy. And part of that joy is this woman sitting next to me, Tammy Demos, whom I met yesterday. And she has a line of skincare products that are all natural, and I was just completely fascinated by them and by her story. She has been in search of natural ways to enhance our inner and outer beauty. Would that be a good way of describing it?
I love that. Yes, thank you.
And so let's start by talking about these products, KLEOS and KLEA. Why the name?
That's an interesting question. I had a really hard time coming up with a name for the company because we need we need TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yes.
And it's really difficult today to get everything aligned. And what I did, I have Greek heritage. My parents are from Greece, and I hired a Greek copywriter to help me because I was so stuck. Thousands of names I came up with.
It's really hard. You go on GoDaddy, you're like, what can I get? Well, you need the domain, but then even more important, you're right, is the social media.
Yes, you need a lot of handles. So what I did was, my name is really Thomasina. And in Greek, it ends in KLEOS, KLEA. So she took that and played with it, and I gave her a little background because I really am truly in love with nature. And I wanted her to play with duality and think about blossoms and different things about nature. So she came up with the masculine and feminine because of nature.
So KLEOS is the masculine,
yes,
and KLEA the feminine.
Yes.
And the K's are very Greek.
Yes, definitely.
So just the packaging alone is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And I know this is an evolution for you, but we'll start here and go backwards. Talk about what is in these products. This says Primorosa Balancing Oil. This is the fourth step, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about the steps and what the products are.
Okay. Yes, Primorosa is an oil. You use it at the end. It seals your skin. The way I look at skin is very different than most people. It's my third clean skincare line. I've been in this business for a long time. So the way I want to moisturize the skin is the way the skin naturally moisturizes itself. And it does that by sealing the skin. And it seals the skin with lipids. We eat lipids, they're fatty acids,
right?
Yeah, fats. And so this particular oil is meant to mimic the fats that the skin makes to seal it.
Okay.
So just to make it really clear, if you have like this beautiful window behind us, and you have the slats of wood in between the panes of window. Well, if you think about the slats of wood as the fatty acids, the lipids that we're talking about, and the windows are cells. So they keep the windows together. Fatty acids keep the cells together.
Okay.
So when you start seeing people with flaky skin or you start getting a little dry, that means the lipids aren't intact and the cells are kind of lifting.
And this product holds it together.
Yes, it seals it. It keeps those lipids intact. So when your skin is sealed, it's naturally moist because moisture comes from the inside, not from the outside.
And this product, can you put some, can we open it? This product doesn't feel oily. It is an oil, but you know how sometimes oils can feel heavy?
No, this is very light. And remember, this is the exact same. So I found plants in nature that have the same fatty acids as the skin.
Okay.
So that's why, because it's going to sink into your skin. I mean, that's just already disappeared. And
the sun is saying, please, moisturize.
yes, it's like,
Although I do moisturize, but it is drinking it up.
how did that feel?
It feels good, and it does not feel heavy at all. I think that's the part that's really so great, that it's not heavy, and it soaks right into the skin. Okay, so there are 4 steps. What are they?
Okay, so the first thing is cleansing.
Yes, of course.
It's my least favorite step.
Me too.
Yeah, it just dries us out, right? After you cleanse, you couldn't just leave the house.
No.
There has to be another step.
Absolutely.
To help rebalance the skin, make it feel moist again. It tends to dry us out.
Mm-hmm.
And what I know today is that cleansers typically remove the microbiome and the lipids from the skin because they're over.
Okay, so for us lay people,
yes.
Microbiome, what is that?
That's all the bacteria on your skin.
Okay.
Okay, we have bacteria everywhere. But we need this bacteria. The bacteria is actually our skin's immune system. So it keeps bad guys away, keeps toxins from coming in, infections, things like that. Without a microbiome, our skin would be very vulnerable and attacked.
And so, since so many women wear makeup, because part of the cleansing is getting off the makeup, is that an extra step, or the cleansing includes taking off makeup and then we get to these other things?
Yeah,
the protection.
I love that question. It actually comes up all the time.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is maybe go through all 4 steps and then tell you how I address makeup, because makeup is different. You have to approach it different when you're cleansing.
Okay.
So the very first step is cleansing, and I cleanse totally different. We can talk about that if you like. And then I have a spray that's like a toner. And I have a serum, which comes in powder form. And then the last step is the oil. So when you have makeup on, at the end of the day, you want to remove the makeup and have a really fresh canvas, right? You want to go to sleep feeling really clean. You have to use the oil with the cleanser because makeup is fat soluble.
Uh-huh.
So you need a little fat to help break down the fat in the makeup so that it can come off really easy.
So you use step 4 with step 1.
Yes, exactly. And we actually do have them numbered, so it's cute that you say it like that. You want to add the oil to the cleanser if you're really dry or if you have makeup on, and it just is really lovely. So it's like an oil cleanser. Many people are accustomed to that.
And your products, other than the oil and the spray, you are putting them together with water, right? Yes. So they're powders. Yes. Does that make them last longer? What's the benefit of the powder?
Yes. So when I realized, so I made this line for me. I decided to throw all my skincare away because my skin stopped responding to skincare. Even though it was clean and beautiful and amazing, Tammy's skin stopped responding. And I started just using plants and herbs and different things that I found at a natural store nearby. And my skin responded so quickly, it healed incredibly fast that I realized I had a new company happening in my bathroom. You know, it was never the plan. So like my cleanser is 9 plants, 2 clays. So I thought, wow, okay, Tammy, this works really well, but how are you going to ship these plants around the world? Right? Because it's going to be hard. If you get a green
actually, shoot, it's impossible. They don't want you to ship plants around the world.
Right, that's true. And the other thing was I wasn't using anything from a lab while my skin was healing. So I wanted to deliver what I was doing exactly. So that meant I couldn't use preservatives. So we remove the water. Everything comes, well, not everything. The cleanser comes in a powder form, as does the serum. Right. Those are the 2 that are plant heavy. There's 9 to 12 plants in those 2 products.
And just for folks to hear, serums typically are liquid. I mean, I've never even heard of a serum that isn't liquid. You make it liquid yourself.
Yes.
By mixing water with this powder.
Right. So at the time of use, you're going to put some powder in your hand, and then you're going to add a little water from the faucet, and you're going to make it the consistency you want and work it into the skin. You activate it at the time of use, so it's really nice.
That's fascinating. So I want to know how you got to this, because you said you've had a couple of other clean skin companies. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Where did this start? When did you begin to have an interest in clean, clear skin products? Because we've heard of hypoallergenic from many years ago, but there are a lot of chemicals in skin products.
Oh yeah. Well, really, the skincare industry was designed to create really powerful ingredients that made changes in skin. Mm-hmm. And what happened was it went way too far. All of a sudden, we realized, we're finding parabens in tumors, breast cancer, and sodium lauryl sulfate and all that. We started realizing we went too far with performance ingredients, and what we ended up with was something that wasn't kind to the planet or to our health. So then clean beauty came in and started swinging the pendulum the other way. And in my opinion, it didn't go far enough. And with this line, I feel like this is as clean as we could possibly get. But the way I got here is that I was pre-med. I wanted to be a doctor and ended up having 4 babies. Yeah. And it's amazing. Yeah, it's so amazing. I had a house full. But my ex-husband was in medical school at the time. And we decided when he graduated medical school and we had all these little babies that we were going to start Medi-Spas. So at that time, nobody had a Medi-Spa. That was like, what is that? Who does that? Yeah, you go to a plastic surgeon or a dermatologist.
So what was happening at the Medi-Spa?
The Medi-Spa was like laser hair removal, collagen, things like that, facial things that were just starting.
And about what time was this?
Late 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, a long time ago. And so we had these Medi-Spas around the country. And at the same time, unfortunately, one of my favorite people on the planet, my father-in-law, was dying. Mm. And he was a physician as well. But medicine told him, we have nothing for you. We can't help you. We can't heal you. So we went alternative, completely alternative. And it was in this alternative medicine world that woke us up to these ingredients. And so for our Medi-Spas, we wanted to create a skincare company that was clean.
So I love this because out of bad things, good things can always come if you look for them. And how did it impact him? Because did it help him what you were learning? I mean, he didn't survive, but did it soothe him at all?
I think he enjoyed how excited we were about this new adventure. But unfortunately, Tom had left before we started our first line. It was what it did to Ben and I. Like, we were so excited. We were curious. We were creative. And so it just opened up new possibilities for us.
I love that. Hey guys, this is Dreamleapers. I'm Harriette Cole. We are here in the Hamptons talking to Tammy about this wonderful line, KLEOS+KLEA, and your journey. So I love hearing about her journey. I hope that you love it too. These products are fascinating, but how you got to them is particularly interesting. And in speaking about this, your father-in-law, you said, right?
Yes.
The love that we have for family can drive everything, because we want to soothe them. We want to do anything that we can for them. Out of your love for him came a new direction for your business. Okay. Out of your love for him came this new understanding of business. Did your husband work in the business with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were partners. Sure.
And so how did you manage the raising the 4 babies and building a business? Because building a business all by itself is a lot.
Yeah, it was hard. I have no idea how we did it. Honestly, he did more of the business part. And at night, in the middle of the day, whenever we could, we would discuss everything, creating different pathways, different ideas. But because he was an MD and he was the man of the house, he was the one in the forefront of that. And we started a lot of these through our home, from our home, which is really common today, but back then it wasn't.
Right.
So it just kind of worked. It was a family business.
And so you have the idea, you conceptually come up with the idea. How do you go from idea to actualizing? Because a lot of people have great ideas, but then what do we do next?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, he and I were the type that we're jumping off the cliff, like we're doing it. We're starting tomorrow. We're starting right now. We were creatives that put things into action right away. And it was just baby steps, but we never stopped. We just kept going, the next step. And trust me, we had no money. You know, we were living off student loans.
Sure.
He hadn't started his practice yet. We had no
medical debt.
Yeah.
Medical school debt is incredible.
Incredible. And we had these kids, these amazing kids, but we just kept moving forward no matter what. We never looked at it as impossible, even though looking back, it was crazy. It was impossible what we did. And we just did.
So you started when it was just the very beginning of people growing in awareness of things that they could do that were more holistic in nature.
Right.
How did you build an audience? Were people naturally gravitating toward this, or did you find a lot of Debbie Downers?
Oh, yeah. No, I remember people telling us we were crazy. You know, we would show up at trade shows. That's how we did it. We went to trade shows because we started off professional. So we were selling to doctors, estheticians, spas.
Okay, that's
those
smart.
type of venues. And people would come up to us. We'd have an empty booth. Our booth sometimes never arrived. And here we were, the two of us with pamphlets. Anyway, and saying something that was like a completely different language. And I remember somebody looking at us saying, that's so interesting, but no one really cares about this. No one really wants this. Why are you doing this? And we just knew people will want it.
So that had to be hard, though. If you have a lot of people going, oh, what are you talking about? And even some of the language that you use now, people may not know these terms because some of them are medical. So when you're talking to medical doctors, they should be aware of it. But traditional medicine doesn't necessarily want you to use all natural.
No, even today, they still don't. Yeah. No, it's hard with doctors, honestly. Allopathic, traditional doctors still have resistance to it, and that's okay. Like now I don't expect it. And when I do have a doctor that is interested, oh, it's like a party. I am so excited. I can really talk freely. I can talk about the science, and it's really enjoyable, but it's really few and far between. But the reason that we were able to do this, it's kind of what you said earlier. It's the love of family.
Yeah.
Like we had this beautiful family. We were incredibly in love, and nothing was going to stop us. We were fools, but we did it. We made it happen.
And so you started through the professional way, through doctors and spas. And then did you start selling those products in store to consumer?
No.
No.
Only recently did that happen. So we were always spas. We were always doctors' offices. We never ventured out. It's just in the past 10, 15 years that online stores, things like that took over. And now.
So, a category that I think, well, I know because I've seen the results of these products on people's skin. Anti-aging is a category that people talk about a lot now. And I think there are lots of thoughts about it. Is it a bad word? Is it a good word? What does it mean for us? Our culture globally is aging.
Yeah.
There are going to be more people 50 plus than not very soon. And so people want to be healthy. They want to look good. Plastic surgeons are on the rise for getting surgery to enhance how people look. But these products I've seen, they really do. What did they say, Donna? They snatch your skin in a natural way. Why? Why is that happening?
It took me by surprise. So when I started using plants, I honestly was doing it because I live at 8,000 feet in Colorado. So it's super dry. And I needed something for hydration. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I'm like, I'll use aloe vera till I figure out what I'm going to do. And I was just caught off guard. I couldn't believe what aloe vera, fresh from the leaf, did for my skin. So then I was just like a kid in a candy store, one thing after another. But so I had to investigate what was happening. Why? Why am I so hydrated? Why is my skin healing? And it's because these plants have incredible amount of nutrients. So I'm so glad you brought this up. Normally skincare has one or two nutrients, but really honestly, it's like a molecule of the nutrient. It's not like the whole nutrient anyway.
Right.
So when you get the whole nutrient from organic plants, magic, your skin thrives. It's so happy. It gets rebalanced and it heals. So that's why these work so good. It's because just these two products, we have over 100 nutrients in these two products. And you would never even know it. They just go in and do their magic.
That's amazing. So my husband is from Jamaica. Aloe vera, the aloe leaf is called single Bible. That's what they call it. Single Bible. So when I first met him, we went to Jamaica on our honeymoon. He says, you have to, this is a long time ago. I had never used aloe vera. Now it's very popular for everybody. It wasn't this more than 30 years ago. He pulled out the leaf, cut it open, and then rubbed it on my skin. And it was amazing. And explained all these different uses for it. It was just in the household. You grow it outside because it will heal your skin. It'll do so many amazing things. So when you mentioned this, I remember. It was news to me because I grew up in America at a time when fast everything was popular and chemicals were considered really good, in products. And so now you're taking us back to our roots, literally.
Yes, literally. Well, you brought up anti-aging.
Yes.
And you brought up aloe vera. So aloe vera not only repairs skin, it creates collagen and elastin. Mm-hmm. It heals the skin. It moisturizes the skin. It's one of my favorite plants. It's really magical. It's a magic plant. That and gotu-kola are two of my favorite. It's another plant. It's a green leaf. It's so beautiful. But the amount of collagen and elastin, the repair, the restoration that happens in the skin from the nutrients in these plants is unbelievable. There's no synthetic ingredient that can do it.
Did you all hear that? There's no synthetic ingredient that would do it. And we have been taught to think otherwise.
I know.
And when you look at beauty products, first of all, you cannot read the labels because they're so tiny for most beauty products. But many of the names are something that's manufactured.
Yes.
And so you don't know what that is, what it's for, or anything. There's a level of trust that people have grown to have with the beauty industry. And because what are you going to do? You don't know. But if you can even read it, you're looking it up and still you don't know what it is. So when we look at the ingredients on your products, we're looking at all natural ingredients.
Yeah, these names. Aloe vera, gotu-kola, gotu-berry, acerola cherries. But so in a normal skincare product, which is 99.999% of skincare, the reason you don't know those names because only 3%, if you're lucky, of that product is actually therapeutic. The rest
Wait, 3%?
Yes.
That's terrible.
If you're lucky. Okay, otherwise it's less than 1%. The rest of it is stabilizers, texturizers, preservatives, things to make you want it, to smell good, to feel good. We're actually just buying marketing. We're buying how something feels, not what something does to our skin. And we're investing a lot of money in 1% of that bottle.
That's frightening,
Yes.
actually, to think of.
So in my line, there's none of that. And it may sound so beautiful and amazing, but we're so used to our cleanser foaming. I have no foaming agents. These are all plants and clays.
So it doesn't foam. It just becomes liquefied.
Yeah, it's actually a tannish brown color because that's what these plants and clays look like when they're dry.
So there's no added color, no color additives, I think they call
No
it.
bleach, right? We're not making it white. We're not making it suds up so that you feel comfortable because it's what you're used to. It's the raw plant. It's organic plants, and you have to trust it. I tell everyone, give it 2 weeks. Don't give it one time. You got to give it 2 weeks. You're going to be amazed at what happens to your skin from these plants.
Now you mentioned that you mentioned when I saw you yesterday that you had some skin challenges that took you on this personal journey to figure out the next product. And one of the things that you mentioned was rosacea. And a lot of people come to have that condition where it's the reddening of the skin.
Yeah.
Right? And don't know what to do.
Yeah, I know. I get so excited now when I meet somebody with rosacea and irritated, inflamed skin. They call it sensitive skin.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing is getting them to trust me because people who have sensitivity, inflammation, redness, they play this teeter-totter game like, oh, I can only use these 3 products because they don't inflame. Anything outside of these is going to cause my skin to be very reactive. So they're very, very hesitant to start something new. And if they give this product 2 weeks, they're going to be probably completely healed, if not almost completely healed, because the skin gets balanced. So the very first thing you have to think about is the microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep that there. You can't remove the microbiome and have healthy, smooth skin that's not inflamed. And then you have to repair the barrier with everything you do, because the barrier intact is going to help seal everything in so that it could heal within. And what I do with this line is I drench the skin with nutrients, because nutrients are the language of our cells. This is how our cells regenerate, how they repair. And we just give them all the tools they need, and they'll heal everything. So give it 2 weeks. Rosacea, sensitive skin, it's just going to thrive.
I love hearing this, and I'm one of those people, and not rosacea, but I have sensitive skin. I remember years ago I went to an Ayurvedic person for a facial, and I was allergic to everything. I got hives all over my whole face.
Oh my gosh.
It was all natural, but it was too strong for me. And so I've already tested your skin on your product on my hands, and it was so mild, which was maybe not scared. but I mean, you would assume something Ayurvedic would be perfect because it didn't have any preservatives, but it doesn't mean that it isn't strong.
Yeah. Well, this is really strong.
Yeah.
But in a nutrition type of way, not in a chemical way.
Right.
So I can't wait for you to try the products for 2 weeks. I hope you call me and let me know how you're doing. But it's made for everyone, no matter what your age, if you're male or female, what part of the world you come from, what your skin condition is. We all need the same nutrients. So right now it's a small company. My demographic is female, but it really is for men and women. And it's for children, people in their 90s. It just doesn't matter. We all need vitamin A, all the B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, all the antioxidants. We're the exact same.
Yeah.
And so it's a new concept, but it just makes sense that we put nutrition on the skin and the skin heals.
Did you all hear that? Okay, this is Dreamleapers with Harriette Cole. We're talking to Tammy about this wonderful line, KLEO+KLEA, all natural products. I've used them on my hand. I have to use them on my face now and test them out. I want to ask you about your children. You have 4 children. Have they used the products?
Oh, yeah.
So what do they say? Because children, they always tell you the truth.
Oh, yeah. They love it. It took a while because we've been in skincare their entire lives, and they're tired of mom saying, do this, do that. We all buy into Instagram, TikTok. We all want the next shade of lipstick, nail polish. It's just, they've created monsters in this. We want more and more. We're consumers. So I give them freedom. But I tell them, instead of using that lotion as a moisturizer, you may want to try Prima Rosa. Just put a light oil on your skin. And now they're all using it. They love it. Their dad has a skincare line too, my former line. So between the two of us, they really shouldn't be purchasing things, but they definitely have it on their counter. So that's good.
I love that. So the effect that I saw of really smoothing out the skin and tightening the skin. Now you say there are 100 elements in these products, so I don't know is there any particular element that stands out that does that tightening?
Well, first of all, the tightening also comes from our facial. There's a technique that relaxes the muscles and it gets the skin to get more responsive, more like it was in our 20s. But the nutrients that go in will brighten. I have a lot of vitamin C, and everyone can handle this type of vitamin C because it's whole plant vitamin C. So that's very brightening. It's going to make your skin look just younger and more even tone. There's all the B vitamins. The B vitamins do incredible things. Like I could get really sciencey, but once you feed the skin vitamins, minerals, lipids, antioxidants, it just thrives. Okay, so you just have to experience.
I love the concept of it. And even though you explained that, I think it has to have some kind of, label or something in order to prove something. But you shared something with me that I just want to talk about a little bit, that it can be protective in the sun.
Okay, yeah. So it's not a substitute for sunscreen or sunblock. But when I was thinking about sun exposure, because I live at 8,000 feet and I'm an outdoorsy person, I live in Colorado. I thought, oh my gosh, Tammy, what are you going to do about the sun? And I have a little garden, and I was looking at my tomato plants when I was thinking about this. And I thought, well, gosh, how did they do it? How do my tomato plants look so good? And it couldn't be water, because I could stand outside and drink water every morning and night, but I will shrivel up and burn.
Yes.
So why are the plants thriving in the sun every day, in the heat, in the wind, in the rain, And what it is they're full of antioxidants. So those beautiful colors are antioxidants. They're called flavonoids. And flavonoids protect them from the sun, just like antioxidants protect us from the sun.
Right.
So really what I do is I drench my skin in my serum. I put a lot of the serum on. It has over 150 nutrients in it. So those nutrients are mainly antioxidants. And antioxidants just protect you from the sun.
I think we've heard this, but hearing it and then having the explanation are two different things. I was just sitting on the beach with a woman a couple of days ago who was telling me she summers in Florida, and she's a golfer and she's always outside. She said almost every woman who was part of this group has skin cancer, and she said there's even now like a mobile hospital that comes to the community to do treatments on people. And she was shocked. It's a brown skinned woman, so naturally she has more protection. And thank God she doesn't have skin cancer, but she said they're still out in the sun. They're not figuring out how to protect themselves. So when people have that degree of a problem, I know it's not, you're not going to say it cures cancer,
No.
But can it soothe the skin even if you have that degree of a challenge?
I had melanoma. Okay, so the past 10 years I was diagnosed with melanoma. Wow. And they had to remove it. And I remember going to the doctor and they told me that. I said, but I'm Greek.
Right.
Like, we don't get it. And she's like, yeah, you do. And I'm like, but we have a lot of melanin in our skin. Yeah. And she said, it doesn't matter. Like, you could get melanoma in between toes and different things. But the beautiful thing about brown skin, even ethnic skin, is that we create melanin. And melanin is an antioxidant. So that's how our body responds to the sun. So just like the plants, when we add antioxidants, extra antioxidants to our skin, it's going to be more protective. But honestly, I come from a very non-traditional point of view. And that is that I think there's a lot of variables that go into having cancer of any type. Especially melanoma. So I think it's sun, I think it's lifestyle, I think it's the way you think and the way you behave and speak about yourself. I think there's a lot of factors.
I just interviewed a woman, Kathleen Killam, who is a scientist, and she just wrote a book about the power of relationships being a healer. And she's calling it social health. That people often think about physical health, mental health, even spiritual health, but often not social health. And the studies that she's looked at suggest that people who have healthy relationships, actual relationships where they touch people, not just on screen, family, friends, neighbors, often survive terrible illnesses. Even the worst of illnesses, they often survive or have a different quality of life because of sharing love with each other.
Yeah,
I think undervalued. We don't talk about that much.
Well, it's mental health. Community is about mental health. And I think COVID taught us that lesson in a really harsh way. But there's just so many variables that go into it. And honestly, some of the stories I get from consumers that use these products is they go on this memory lane. I had this beautiful friend of mine that was testing the line for a private island in the Caribbean. And so we had this powwow where everyone came together and they gave me feedback. And you always get a little nervous because when it's a group of people, if one person has a really bad experience, it could ruin the party.
Good.
So she started speaking and she said, I have to tell you what happened to me. I started cleansing my face with your powder and I remembered my grandmother's garden. and the roses that lined the pathway to the garden. And I could see myself playing in the dirt. I haven't thought of this memory in 30 years. And she said, thank you so much. I don't know what it was about cleansing, but it took me down memory lane. Nature does something to us, right? We go outside, we smell the flowers. I mean, Donna has beautiful grounds. We have nature all around us that is extraordinary. Mm-hmm. It heals you.
It does.
And if you have community, you have nature, you have clean water, there's so many things that make us healthy. And I'm just bringing nature to people's bathrooms.
And we all have suffering. You know, that's also a part of life, that we are having so much joy right now that we don't necessarily think about it, but everyone has suffering. How have you navigated suffering to access joy even in those tender times?
Wow. Amazing question. I was not expecting that. I'm a very spiritual person. Mm-hmm. I do not connect with one faith. I connect with all faiths. And for me, suffering is my sign that I need to go within, that I've become disconnected. Okay? And so when I'm going into a dark place, I'm leading myself to a dark place. And I need to do my practice, I need to do my rituals, and honestly bring the light back into my heart and my life and share it with people. So it's about becoming isolated and then learning, okay, how am I going to share? And honestly, this line has helped me. It helps me. Look who I'm talking to. I'm sharing with you today. What an honor. I mean, such an amazing, it's a dream. And so you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to have a routine.
Discipline is very important. I've been practicing meditation for more than 30 years. So I get it. I mean, being able to go inside, to access your strength when there are challenging times, I think is really important. As Donna knows, my mother lived to be 95. She just passed a couple months ago. And what she used to tell us in recent days was, I'm doing the best with what I've got left. At 95, she had a smile on her face the day that she left us, even though she suffered. And she taught us that you can suffer gracefully. And as you make the choice to access joy and also to access strength. So as a woman entrepreneur, as a woman who you were in business with your husband, you have 4 children, you aren't married to him anymore, that had to be difficult. Navigating that and then being an entrepreneur separate from him and showing your children how to be strong and loving. Talk about that, Sharon.
Wow, you're going to get me to need some Kleenex here. Oh, thank you, Harriette, for being such a deep soul. Well, first of all, everything I do, I keep my children in mind first, right? I'm their role model, I'm their person, and I take that role very seriously. But yes, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to start something. I knew that in my heart, and so I tried different things to not get back into the beauty business, but they just never worked out. There was never another step to take to move forward with it. And with this, I did. So I knew that, this was meant to be for me. But I do want my daughters and my sons to look at me and say, she could do it. They saw me in darkness. They saw me really, really depressed because I identified myself as a married woman.
Sure.
And a mother with this family. Obviously, my family, I didn't know what a family was in divorce. I had to build my concept around what it could be for me. And honestly, meditation does that. Because in meditation, I create my world how I want it to be. Even though it's not typical, I create it exactly how I want it to be, and then I walk into it. Every day, I'm walking into another version of me. And so I want to show them that you create everything. You can create it. So just like your mother at 95 created a space of peace and possibility for her, place of comfort. So many people just see the disease, the age, the pain. If you can just put that aside for a second and just walk into the beautiful parts of your world every day, every minute, you're going to be happy, you're going to be glorious, people are going to want to be around you, and miracles are going to happen.
Yeah, it does work. And I think when people are in the dark place, it's hard to believe sometimes that there can be a brighter place. And I love your description of you create the world in your meditation and then walk into it.
Yes.
That is a choice that requires some muscle.
Yeah, I had to learn.
Inner muscle, right?
Yeah.
And
I was taught by the best. I'm very fond of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I actually just was at his retreat last week.
Wonderful.
So yeah, because I've been to many, because I still have to discover how to break down barriers that I built for myself. I still have barriers, but
Sure,
I think
of
I
course.
can't do that. I can't go talk to Donna Karen and all her friends. And that's like, of course I can. I'm a beautiful, kind person. I got to remember that and be that person always.
Well, one of the things that Don and I have been talking about this for a long time, but especially last summer. Last year was when Kamala Harris was running for president, and there was this incredible excitement for women. And we spent a lot of time talking about the power of women and what we can do, especially if we work together. Because sometimes women work together and sometimes women fight each other, right? But bringing powerful women together who are like-minded and who want to see good in the world, amazing things happen.
Yes.
As we are experiencing right now.
Yes.
Isn't it true?
Oh,
Yeah.
Women are incredible. Men are too.
Yeah.
Love
People,
men.
yes.
People. We're all people. But when a group of women come together, because we have been honestly put in a cage for so long, now we're coming out and we're holding hands. We're a force now, because when women come together and work on something, it's going to be nurturing. We're going to cover everything that's needed. We have intelligence, we have the heart, we have the capability, and it's really exciting and fun. And my company brings me to a lot of powerful, amazing women. And I don't know, my dreams are getting bigger the more I'm around women. More possibilities are happening.
Getting bigger. This is Dreamleapers, you guys. We are tuned in together. We are in this covenant of Dreamleapers. Tammy, this is so exciting. So we only have a few more minutes left. I'm interested in the dreams for the future. So obviously this is a new product line. So you're launching it. You're bringing it to as many people as you can. So that the part that I love about it is naturally we can refresh ourselves and look our best and feel our best. Because it is also true, women are judged by how we look more than men are. And as we get older, we want to remain whatever we believe is beautiful. And I think your products help us with that a lot. What else is on the runway?
I'm hoping to go more into lifestyle. So everyone asks me, what's next? Are you going to do more products? When you look at skin as far as nutrition levels in the skin, there's only so much you could do. I really feel like I can't do much more. Possibly I could do a lip product, because what we put on our lips, we eat. So we need to be very careful about the chemicals we're putting on our lips. And I'll do some things for the facials, things that we call back bar, things that your facialist will do. But honestly, I want to go into more lifestyle things. I want to bring nature and plants into how we live every day somehow. I haven't figured that out, but I know it's going to cross my path and it's going to be an aha moment for me. But I'm going to be very ethical. I love Mother Earth. I'm not just going to keep adding SKUs, because that torments Mother Earth. We need to keep producing things. I'll figure something else out that women and population needs.
And what do you do in those tender moments to take care of you?
I meditate. Yeah, I meditate all the time. I'm trying to learn to meditate while I'm talking and interacting with people, because I want to stay connected. I want to stay connected to that window of the person I'm moving into, because if something happened to my kid, if something happened in those little areas of me that are really, really tender and easily triggered, I want to slow that down. I want to have a space where I could consider how I want to react, and always react by walking through that window.
And you could meditate for 3 minutes and your whole demeanor changes entirely. This is what people think, I don't have an hour. You don't need an hour. It's nice to meditate for an hour, but you can change your state by just a bit of deep breathing and focus.
Yeah.
It's
and loving. You gotta love.
so true.
You've gotta love more.
It's so true. Donna, come over here.
Come
So,
love us
we
more.
come love us more. Before we end this, because we are with my dear friend Donna Karen and her lovely
So
home.
Donna,
Urban Zen, what does it stand for?
How to find the calm in the chaos of the world we live in today.
That's it. That's it. And what Donna,
Yeah.
it's what we're talking about, and it's what Donna has been doing for, when did Urban Zen start?
Over 24, 25 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and of course, I met Donna through Donna Karen 30-something years ago. many moons ago when we were all babies, right? But you...
And I can't get back to your husband, who
Yeah.
really knew me when I was 18.
Yeah.
He caught me at 18 years old, and that's more than I
So
can do.
literally, my husband, who George Tinsey, who works for WWD, he's a photographer there. 42 years he's been there. So
wow.
yeah, they go way back. I'm the newbie. 30 years, I'm a newbie.
But you know when you love somebody, you know, they have this camera and you just love them.
And it's
Forget about that it's a camera.
Yeah,
You know, it's
so
a person.
good. But just as we close,
But then I meet her,
yeah,
and now I see
yeah,
beauty, two amazing, beautiful people, and a daughter.
with
That
now
is
your care, with your love.
Sheer perfection. And I've learned so much from her and her passion and desire to bring people together, to be able to talk about it. And that's really what Urban Zen was all about.
Yeah.
When His Holiness the Dalai Lama was the first person in my studio.
Wow.
And after that,
Yeah.
what else
I
can
mean,
you do?
and you know, one of my mother's lessons, which is what you do, is keep good company. And that's what these beautiful products are bringing you in the space of such good company. That's what we are experiencing right now. That's why I created Dreamleapers.
I don't want to say anything about black and white. I'm sorry, but I am talking color. You are perfect in these two colors. You're
Yeah.
missing the white today,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you a little white.
Thank you.
I love it. Well,
The accent.
yes. And the products are just fantastic.
They're sheer perfection.
So guess what? I get to stay and hang
Thank
out
you.
with my friends. You all have to go for now, but thank you so much, Tammy. KLEOS and KLEA. Thank you, Donna, for hosting us. And thank you to all of you for tuning in. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Bye.
God bless you.
Thank you. I am.